Hello, everybody, and welcome to Questions and Answers Live for March. Questions and Answers Live for March 2025. Can you believe that it's March already? So, today we're going to be diving deep into your questions. Um, and as far as just kind of general things that are going on, okay. Before I forget, somebody asked about this. My somebody thought I had some kind of massive head injury or something like that, and the fact is that no, there wasn't any massive head injury at all. The fact was a sourdough injury. I was making sourdough, and I was putting the dough into the fridge for its overnight rise. Scraped my head against the freezer freezer door. So anyway, that's what that was all about. So I'm perfectly fine. Everything's fine. I can still remember what day it is, say my name, and all that good stuff. So I'm okay. Um, so in general, how things are going um, as things move on here. Um, just kind of an energetic reality check that's going on. I'm been having to make sure to tell people as far as just in general how energy goes. To be very, I don't know if I want to say super careful, but in the sense of make sure you're doing your energetic protection and cleansing. There's a lot of contradictory energy pieces that are flying all over the place. And so I always advise people to sure that they are definitely making some allowances to protect their energy, especially. Okay. Um, sorry, I'm just getting this a little not so annoying me. Um, so making sure your energy is protected is very important. We had a good class this past week as well, Rise Above Disappointment. Uh, one person mentioned that was one of the best classes they ever had, which is, I've been doing classes a very long time. So that's great to hear that, and definitely be pulling together some more classes as time goes on. Um, so very good there. Um, So, what I'm going to do is, those of you who are new to Questions and Answers Live, you put your questions in the comments. Um, and I'm seeing all kinds of interesting things going on here. Um, so I'm getting to your, yeah, okay. I'm just making a note here. We're having these wonderful internet issues, and I don't like them because we've got through all of those. For those of you who remember, we, I went through a whole bunch of different things here, trying to make sure that internet work was completely cleared out and everything. So I'm not sure what's going on. So I'll keep watch on that. Um, our connection last month got cut off because of we had a snowstorm that was going on, and so everything just got blinked out. Um, but we don't have a snowstorm today. It's nice outside, it's still a little chilly, but so I'm not going to worry about that. So we'll have to do some interesting. Also, looking down the line, I feel like I'm doing like these housekeeping sorts of things. Um, Looking at the possibility of changing the format slightly for questions and answers, and what that might entail. I'm not going 100% on this yet because I'm still researching a little bit of the technology piece to make sure that it all works the way I'm expecting it to and hoping it to. Is that when questions and answers live comes up, there would be an option you could actually zoom in, and so the questions would be direct as opposed to writing them in the question comment box. It would be almost kind of like everybody gathering in for an audience, what I call audience reading, um, and talking and just kind of randomly pulling people out of that group and going very much one on one. Questions and answers live would then go longer, probably about an hour and a half instead of an hour so that I can make sure to connect with more people. So we're looking at that, meaning me and my wife. My wife is kind of my sounding board for, looking at these things. So it's a possibility. I'm not 100% on this yet because technology is what it is, and it might work and it might not. So I'm checking that. I'm checking all the possibilities. So something to look forward to, within the next few months, hopefully. I would really like to do that because when there is that personal connection, it makes it a lot better. It's a better experience for you who are here, making the time to be submitting questions, and it also makes it a little bit more interesting for you to have that because then I can actually do a little bit more, so more than just kind of answering your question and doing a little bit of energy work, allowing some of those other pieces to enter the picture. So there's some actual interaction and not just me talking. I mean, I don't mind the talking part, I guess, but it's always nice to hear back. So it's something that I'm looking. So that all being said, let's take a look and see how things are going, for questions here. I'm just reading your questions out. Okay, so Karen, um, Karen Bennett, last name. From your husband Brad, looking at that, um, Brad is being very protective. Um, not it's not that there's any danger. If I heard somebody say they were being protected, I'd be terrified. So they're not being protected. He's not being protected because of there's any danger, but he's watching over the kids. The thing that I have to be very clear here is that he's watching over the kids. He's making sure that they are kept safe. He's especially watching over you because there's there's a lot of it feels like this is that point of the year where there are so many responsibilities coming at you at this feels like it's in terms of work. It also feels like it's in terms of home. This is particularly a difficult time. I feel like okay, and I'm gonna put this in here because he's got somebody else with him. There is another male that is with him who's passed. My feeling with this is somebody else in the family passed. Um, that and I don't know if this is recent or if this is just him letting me know that the connection is taking place with this older male, 'cause this is above him, so this would be like father, grandfather figure. Feels more like grandfather to me, but, um, that's the feeling I get. So, he's wanting me to acknowledge that connection as well. So he is letting you know that he's connecting with family as well, okay? Um, with regard to all this stuff coming at you, to exercise a little bit more caution. Some of the things in terms of caution, he's telling you, "Yeah, be cautious, but you're not going to make any mistakes." That's part of the reason why I'm being protective right now, is to make sure that those mistakes don't happen. They're not huge mistakes. Um, I feel like this is, like, the way things are I wanna use the word reported, if that makes sense. There's paperwork involved here too. So that those are the pieces that I'm getting at this point, okay? Moving around here a little bit. I wanna go down to Elaine. Um, so Elaine, um, there's an excitement that's building in the air for you, Elaine, and this excitement is actually really good. There's a lot of possibilities. This I feel like you're moving into a season of activity, a season of a lot of movement, season of a lot of good positive changes that are taking place. One of the things that your guides are showing here that's really important is being very careful not to get sucked into the drama. Um, really monitor your inputs, monitor what information you're taking in so that you don't get pulled into things that you can't control. Uh, so being judicious about that. They're not telling you what to do, but they are maybe advising a little bit more cautious that you don't get caught in that drama that's going on. There's some reassessment, and this is a good thing. There is reassessment. There's a looking back, and what they're talking about advising here is looking back over the past 6 months to a year and asking you the one simple question here, and the question is, what are the limits that you put on yourself? They're asking you, what are the limits that you put on yourself? And then saying, "Okay, for this new season that's coming in for you, to break through those limits, to question whether those limits are real, and try to break through them as much as you possibly can so that you can expand your social circles, so that you can expand your experiences, so that you can connect better with others without that uh, fear. Because there seems to be a limitation of fear that's going on there as well, of not trusting the process. So to really enter into that, that's one of the things that are very important. All right? So that's and not to fear errors here. It's very easy to get a little, um it's kind of related actually a little bit to the previous reading I was just talking about. It's very easy to get a little overly cautious, a little overly watchful, and that's okay, but let it be awareness, curiosity. Let it be an awareness of what's going on around you, and then to approach it with curiosity rather than with guardedness. Because often, the way they're showing this, often you can tend to go into a situation with your guard up, and you're not really trusting that situation as much. And this is due to some past experiences. It's not like a random sort of thing. So they're cautioning to kind of let your guard down a little bit. And you don't have to drop it completely, but let it down enough so that you can approach it with some curiosity, and that will help greatly for you. Okay? All right. Let's move along here. Lori Wood. Lori Wood. Something for you today. Um, you have one relative who's passed, female, older, uh, above you here, your mom or grandma. She's taking, she's throwing money at you. Yeah, she's throwing money at you. There's a lot of, and for me, this means a lot of things. When I have a symbol, especially that someone who's passed is throwing money at you, that does not mean, although it's great if it is money, I think it's great, and having free money thrown at you from the other side is not a small thing. There's a couple meanings to this. One is that they are like literally throwing coins into your path, uh, putting those little signs that she is doing good, that she is happy, not in the sense of ha ha happy kind of a thing, although she's laughing like crazy, um, is, is the sense of happiness in terms of contentment, that there is a peacefulness that she's coming into here that she wants to acknowledge, and those coins are signs of that. Now, that being said, there's also gifts coming your way, okay? Because the gifts are part of this generosity that she's showing for you, and she's inspiring people to do these things. They're coming in at just the right time, just when you need them, and they are signs of love from her. All right. She, oop, it just slipped there. All right. I'm being very careful with the scroller on this because the way my screen looks here with scrolling of the comments to make sure that they don't get lost. So it's harder for me to jump around. Um, so there you go. So Jean Blonigan, anything from loved ones or guides? Um, There's a person off to the side of you. This could be a cousin or a sister. Um, Female, definitely female. There's a cousin or a sister that is present there, and she's standing at for me, it's the edge of the water, so she wants me to acknowledge water connected with her. I don't feel like she passed from a water incident at all. This is a different kind of acknowledgement. This is an acknowledgement she's in her happy place, where she's by the water and everything is just very good. She has a feather that she's holding in her hand. That feather is, again, this last here's interesting how these movies connect sometimes to me. This feather is her sign. This feather is her sign that she's present there. Like I say, this could be a sister, could be a cousin, could be a friend. I'm just getting a female off to the side, so that's what I'm getting. Um, so what I'm getting from her though is that she's helping to open your intuition a little bit more. She's helping you in your own spiritual development, and that is super important here as well. Um, that's what's really happening. So she's advising you to have you pay more attention to your intuition, um, not to get too hung up on questioning yourself as much and wondering, okay, did I make the right decision? Because she's telling me that yes, that recent decision, especially, that was a very good decision. So stick with that. Uh, I'm gonna go backwards a little bit. Elaine, um, your sister Jean, your sister Jean comes through to you. Um, she's missing. She's got a couple things. One is she's apologizing for the times that she could not get together with you when alive. That was one of those things where she a lot of things that were keeping her away. There were some limits to go on. So she's apologizing for that. At the same time, what she's focusing on right now, especially, is the happy moments when you were together, and she's experiencing those happy moments with you now. Okay, she's she's working very hard to try to connect you with some more positive, happy, good connected moments. So that's what she's wanting to make sure to say to you. Okay, great deal of joy and happiness there, and she's connecting her to you to help open that and to help open that door to more positive experiences. Okay. Um, writing a note here before I forget, 'cause this is something else. Joyce Pribnome. Is this about moving? I feel like this might be the place. I feel like I'm getting a message about moving. Okay. Um, the place is ready. Within the next month, maybe two. At most. Um, the place that you're looking for finally opens. It's in the right place, right location, right connection. Keep your eyes open for it. It may have already shown up. It's bright. Um, it's now. It's like we're right in that season now. It's this month or next month at most. Which is showing March or April uh, is showing that. Okay. Uh, moving along, Angel. Angel. Okay, I'm glad you're not asking for legal advice because I don't give any. Um, why? Okay, the purpose of what's going on there in your particular situation, the feeling I'm getting here is sound like I'm name calling. Um, and it kind of is. be as it's gonna sound really weird. Okay, so what I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna say, and I'm saying be as legalistic as possible. What I mean by that is, um, to use words exactly and limit the use of those words to exactly what they mean. I feel like this is sometimes cases are where games are played. I feel like and the game is to kind of use the intention, I feel here, is to use what you are going to do against you, okay? It was to use what you were going to do, what you were going to say against you in an attempt to play a game. Now, the reason why the guidance I'm feeling here, take things literally, is because it feels like what the strategy is to use that literal meaning without context. So to structure what you're doing to create that context, to flip over whatever. It's a strategy thing of a game, and to play that game, I feel like it's all about context because there's no context, okay? Hope that's making sense. I feel like talk it over with your lawyer, obviously here. Uh, I feel like context is gonna be a big thing that's gonna be missing in the other side, okay? The other side of the other side of the aisle. The other side, technically, it is the aisle in a courtroom, but the other side of, um, the case. Um, some things disappeared here. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay, Jacinta Peters. Okay, I lost a. Okay, I'm gonna go backwards slightly. Jacinta. Wasson was the last name. I can't remember the first name. I saw the last name Wasson. The message that I have for you is to not give up. There is a feeling of giving up search, giving up the effort. And the guidance that I'm supposed to relay to you, especially from your angels and guides here, is to stay determined and stay motivated. Do not forget why you're doing it. Do not do it just for yourself. Do this for others, okay? Don't give up. There's a feeling of overwhelm and a question of whether you're going to be able to do. I don't know if it's a question I'd ask you, but there is this feeling of concerted effort and pushing forward and just really dropping the fear and just going for it. And that's what I'm getting for you. So whatever this effort is, don't give up. Don't give up, and don't give in to the overwhelm and the feeling that, "Oh, I don't know if I can do this anymore." You can. Well, okay. Um, so back to Jacinta. Um, there's a slight pause on things right now, in terms of what's going on in life. There's a feeling where things are kind of waiting. It's almost gestational in the sense of like life is pregnant with possibility, but it hasn't really happened yet. It is a pause, not an end. It is not a stop it. So what's happening right now, how to use this time, your guides are essentially working with you to be able to change your perspective. So it's a matter of instead of looking at it from the current perspective you have, which is easily becoming a little more victim turning at it and looking at it from the other side of this and seeing exactly what's possible for you and then making that happen. It can be small things. This is not momentous changes that you have to make. It's a matter of speaking up for yourself. Speaking up for yourself and as many people to as many people as possible. Okay. So that's what I'm getting specifically for you. Lori Brown, I had your question right in front of me and it just disappeared. Um, I wanna give you an answer and I don't know the question. Don't type it in again because it'll just be weird here. Because if I scroll down, more people disappear. It's kind of like a sci-fi movie for me. Um, taking a look here. So, um, Lori Brown, go ahead, type your question in again, whatever it was. Like I say, I can't see it here, and it's not your fault. It's because of this is working. Um, well, okay, one thing at a time. My ADD is going to take over, and I'm just gonna like, well, let me go over here, and then we're pretty soon off track here. All right, Tabitha Joe. Tabitha Joe, anything for you? Okay, Tabitha. Um, I feel job worries here. Um, I feel job worries. I don't know whether there is a fear of losing job or there's just some kind of danger signals that are coming around it. The advice and direction that I'm receiving for you in terms of that, like I say, this could be for you or someone close to you. I don't get that. I just um, question mark here. Use your free will wisely. Use your free will wisely and kick into this. You will not lose if you're coming from this place of fear of loss, it's gonna actually create the problem. So rather than giving into that fear of loss, choose instead to use your free will to cut through the confusion, cut through the doubts, and just stay on top of this. Now, is there a possibility of an ending taking place? That's still kind of on the table. I don't feel like that's completely gone. I'm not here gonna say, "Oh, everything's gonna be just fine, and, there's nothing you need to worry about." I feel like that kind of concern point is still on the table. It's not as much on the table, um, and the way to get that off the table is staying on top of this so that you will be more aware of the actual situation, and if some change needs to be made, you're prepared for it and you're gonna find it in the right. Okay? So that's what I'm getting. Alright? And, sorry, I'm a little frustrated because the questions disappear all the time. Um, okay, Robert Boughton. Boughton? 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 Boughton. Um, taking a look here and see what is your I'm supposed to say the money's not gonna fold, the business is not going to fold, things are not going kaput. I feel like you've been venturing on some new paths, and you're actually being led on those paths. These kind of, I don't wanna call them harebrained scheme or harebrained ideas, but it's almost like a hunch you're following in terms of going your direction. And the feeling that I'm getting here is that you're actually being led along this direction, okay? So to follow the hunch, you're being empowered here to be able to move in that new direction, and it's gonna actually be very, very profitable and positive for you. Um, this is going to be a booming year for you. That's another thing here too, that this is going to be a booming year for you in terms of work. Uh, there's a lot happening, a lot of good things taking place here. Um, keep pushing the effort out. Don't, like I just said this, don't give up. Another reading was about that. Relationship-wise, there's a new feeling to this, so this is like a new level or possibly new relationship, connecting in here, so that's finally coming into play, and that will also help encourage you as well. Okay, alright. Sandra Williams. Sandra Williams. What I'm seeing is a little child looks like a little child, so to me, this is a child who's passed, is looking over your shoulder, keeping very close watch over you, and they're they're letting you know that they are being very, very watchful, very protective of you. There's an older female presence with this person as well, a child. They're also connected to you. This is like I feel like I'm in the middle of a family reunion here. They're all just gathered around you and watching you in this work because they're showing you doing some really kind of creative sorts of things here. I consider it creative. They're showing things coming together as you're working, and it's starting to become something very beautiful. And so they're helping you to put these things together. Um, so you are the message I'm getting here that to relate to you is that you've got their full support. And I feel like that's the question that's coming up. The question is, am I going the right direction? Um, am I making the right am I making the right choice? Do I have their support? You do have their support, and it feels like they're really working hard for your success as well here. So to get everything finally lined up together, um, is what they're pulling together for you. Okay. See if there's any other messages there. Yeah. So that's the main message because they're not changing the symbols that I'm seeing. Okay. Adam, Adam, Adam Comer. A couple things. Okay, yeah, they're showing me a birthday greetings or anniversary greetings here. They're showing me a cake with candles on it, which is an indication of a birthday or an anniversary. Um, they want me to acknowledge that. This could be the acknowledgement of, um, like I say, it could be their anniversary or yours. It could be there's a particular birthday they want to acknowledge you. It's either coming up or just recently happened. So they want to acknowledge that for sure that they are present and there, and they're not missing those important holidays. Those I don't call them holidays. They're not missing those important family events, and that's the thing that they want to be real clear about here is that even though they've passed, they still have an extremely strong connection to you. And within that extremely strong connection they've got, they are present at the family gatherings. They are present when everybody is getting together. They are they're the acknowledgement when the laughter starts up, hear them, okay? When the laughter starts up, you can actually hear them laughing, and that really is them. It's not your imagination. Because other people are reporting that as well, what they're showing here. So, especially when family is together, they are there, present in a special way. They haven't they're showing up for the parties. Yeah, I think there's like a rite of passage coming up here because I'm seeing that symbol. I wanna say it's almost a graduation of sorts. They're connected to that. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm sure you do. Uh, so they're showing that as well. They will be present for that again. So that's why the celebration thing is kind of really strong. Right? Okay, moving on here. Vicky. partner, messages from fiance. Mm. Fiance is at peace. I'm sup somebody I don't know how this connects to you, but I don't. But I feel like your fiance's bringing this up here. Somebody was killed, and when I say killed, I mean, like, it's like they were murdered, like and it could be that, maybe they were killed by accident, that there was, like, a gun that went off and in the path of the bullet. Um, there is this feeling of murder is there, and I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm supposed to acknowledge that. He is okay, he is at peace, he's very content, life is he's he misses you terribly. At the same time, he is also okay. It's really weird for him because he's happy and yet misses you, and it's kind of a both and. Um, but he has someone with him who was murdered, and like I say, I can't really I don't have uh, the ability to explore that more in terms of validation, but this hopefully will make sense to you of who this person is, okay? Because whoever this person is that was murdered, that justice is going to be uh, meted out for the person who killed this person who was murdered. Okay. Um, I remember Joy. Okay, let's talk to that person. Anna MG. Um, so Anna MG. I'm sorry, I paused there for a second, just kind of get my bearings here. I feel like okay, so what they're revealing here, they're kind of pulling back the curtain a bit to see what coming attractions are for you. Um, one of the things they're showing here is for you, Anna, that they want to acknowledge the fact that you have been responsible. There have been accusations. I'm just this is what it feels like, that there have been accusations that you're being, uh, irresponsible and you're being totally flippant and a little crazy. I feel like that's what the I'm not saying you are because you're not. That's the acknowledgement I'm getting from the other side that you are not crazy, that you are not kind of the space cadet. This is the energies that they're showing forward from people around you. That the fact is that you're very supportive of others. You're very responsible about things, and that you're not really causing problems here. The thing that is easy for you to get pulled into, though, is the soap operas around you. Um, let yourself practice a little more detachment from the soap operas taking place around you because they become kind of these snares where you get trapped. Um, whether that's intentional from others or not, the fact is that they do tend to trap you. So to hold back on that, let that go, and you'll be okay. All right. So let go of the soap operas. That's really important. And I don't mean the literal soap operas on television. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the life situations, the people around you that you tend to get a little wound up into. Be very careful about that. I feel like it's your son. I don't have an acknowledgement on that, but as far as like from you directly here, but um, Your son is gonna be fine. I'm supposed to acknowledge that. I don't know if you have a son. I just see a younger male energy that I'm supposed to say your son is fine, okay? That's the thing as well, okay? Hope that made sense. Um, Alyssa Youngquist, you had to let go of somebody recently. Whether this person passed or not, I'm not sure, but there's a feeling of letting go that happened for you, that was not an easy thing. The angels are showing me a lot of comfort around you right now in this whole letting go process. It's either happening that either just happened or is happening right now. Um, there's also an older male energy around you. He's got the dog with him, um, wanting you to know that everything's fine with the family. They're all joining hands, all good. Um, he's holding a book in his arms, rather large book. It reminds me of like family Bible sort of thing, but I'm supposed to acknowledge there. Okay. Mallory Truscott Newman. Okay, Mallory, life has been a 360. Any messages for me? Ooh, that's a total flip. I'll tell you what it feels like first. You, hmm, I feel like I'm standing on a stage, and the trap door just went, and then it's like one of those cartoons where you're standing, the Warner Brothers cartoons, where, like the Wile E. Coyote is standing there, and then the smoke kind of clears and discovers that they've gone over the cliff and they're just floating in midair. They look down the minute they do, and then there's this, there's this drop. Gravity takes over. That's the feeling. It's a trapdoor opening. It's like all of a sudden everything just lots of stuff changed super fast. It's the speed of this that's made it really bad. It's not just everything turning around in a completely different direction. It's the speed at which it did. You're still getting oriented here. The thing that your guides and angels are showing me here is that you are still getting oriented and figuring out, okay, what's my name again? And what am I doing? I mean, like literally, you are in your car, and you are lost while you're driving. Like you don't even know where you're at, and you've lived how long? So there is that feeling. Um, few things. One, take a deep breath. I know that sounds really basic, but that's the first thing they show me here. Uh, take a deep breath and realize that your guides and angels are working on your behalf. Right now, the waiting that you're experiencing for, you're supposed to hear back from like two or three different people, and that's about these resources you're connecting with. You will hear back from them within this next week. Okay, this is not the end of everything. Okay, you have not lost every. The feeling is you've lost everything. You haven't. If anything, the truth has finally emerged, and you're being saved from far worse things. Okay, like I say, this is where it gets a little strange because it's like the masks fell off a little early, and it's a good thing they did before it got worse. Okay, so that's what I'm getting here. The the abundance is going to follow here. Okay, so it's not. Yes, it has been a horrible experience. At the same time, it's it's an opening for a better life. Okay, So, that's what I'm getting right now for you, okay? So, I wanna say hang in there. It's not my favorite way of saying things here. Um, the resources are connecting to you right now, okay? You're not alone. You are not alone here. So keep keep the connections, keep reaching out. Uh, the accusations are false. I'm supposed to mention that as well. That's um, the other message I'm getting from your guides. I it's an acknowledgement that you've been gaslit. That's what I'm getting here, okay? Becky McNeely Roofs, did your post come through? Okay, so Becky McNeely Roofs, I don't I haven't found did your post come through? I think it got sucked into the vacuum. Um, I'm just writing this down, writing your name down here so that when I come across it, you'll be there, okay? Okay. Jessica Strand. Jessica Strand. Um, so Jessica, emotions have been high, the sense of chaotic and super energetic and really feels a little pressure cooker. That's the thing that your guides and angels are showing here is that emotions at home have been just a little on edge. Space is really important right now. To make space, everyone in the house needs some space because what's happening is that the good emotional support and love that should be there is kind of turning on itself a little bit. So for some space to take place in positive ways, is gonna be helpful. So it's not like you all need to go off into separate rooms forever, okay? That's not what they're showing here. This is more of a case of getting some space from each other, but then coming back together again and doing something together. This could be anything. This could be a movie, this could be a meal, this could be a board game or a card game of some sort, something interactive, okay? Uh, video games not really functioning in that way. But something very interactive so that there's a way for each of you to get some space to allow your energies to kind of relax, let the tension drop, and then to be able to recombine those energies in a productive way. That's what's really important right now that needs to like I say, there's this feeling of things not just an heaviness there. Um, if you do Jessica, if you do finger painting or brush painting, something like that, or even writing, uh, that also I feel like is something that should be done, to gauge that, to get some of what's in here and in here out front, not to analyze, that's not to analyze, to get out, make room for other for positive things, okay? Um, that's important, okay. Um, just following it, I'm trying to make sure. Hey, Lori Brown, thank you, okay. I just my guides are like, "No, go this way," and I'm like, "No, I wanna look back here," and they're like, "No, go this way." Okay. the things that go on in me. So Lori Brown, thank you for putting your question in there again. Do you have okay, so I know that for Diller, how do you feel I'm in sure. Mm, a lot of pieces there, a lot of pieces. Um, so Lori, Dell is around you. He's got his arms wide open as this is going on. Um, that means a couple of things to me. One is certainly of love, and there's also this dramatic sense of that this also means two things when spirit shows me this. One is welcome, the other blessing. That he's giving you all these things. He's giving you a lot of different things. So as far as like in terms of health and relationships, health is going well. Okay. Um, I'm supposed to mention the knee pain is going to start. That's something I'm supposed to mention. The other thing that he's showing here is as far as danger goes, he's the one that's kind of been assigned as your little bodyguard. Uh, Bill is a bit of a protector as well, and showing is like literally giving you as much protection as he can. Are you in any danger? I don't feel danger. Don't feel danger. Weird message I'm supposed to convey to you. I hope this makes sense. The airplane is not supposed to fall from the sky. It's not going to fall from the sky. That's what I get. So I'm conveying that to you. Okay. I like I said, the way this it was weird. It was like showing this airplane and then an X over it, like, oh, that's not going to happen. Um, I've got two different people here. Um, Donna Wallace, things you should change in your. Oh, okay, got it. Any changes to make? Um, no. Um, business wise, no. Nothing needs to change. If anything, it's perseverance and one of the things I'm supposed to mention as far as business goes is looking at it from the perspective of the person looking at it from the perspective of the person who you want to serve and seeing what they want, just even imaginary sort of a thing like, okay, person's coming, what do they want? How can I, what are they looking for? And then going from that direction. So that if that's an improvement, um, that would be the only improvement there. As for marriage, you cannot tow the cart yourself. Um, you absolutely cannot. And I'm as the words are coming one on top of the other, which is not very helpful for English or any other language. The thing is this marriage improvement cannot be done by one person. When there are trouble spots, one person cannot do everything. I have to plug this in because the computer needs to be plugged in there. Too bad if the computer just um, back the the reality is that in order for marriage to improve, both people need to be on board with it. It can't just be one. Um, that's one of the things about marriage improvement that I think happens that people get lost, stuck, and maybe a little messed in perspective. because one person cannot make the marriage better. It's both. It's a double work. Even if one person is at fault, you still have to have the other person willing to accept the changes. It's always 2 people. So, whether that's going to, uh, kind of a marriage renewal sort of a thing, or if there's something like a marriage retreat, or relationship retreat that's possible to look at it from that perspective, that would be great. Because I feel like what's happened is there's a communication problem. I feel like that between the 2 of you, um, I don't feel like it's you, I feel like you're reaching a lot. There's a kind of a turning off, a pulling away that seems to be taking place, this very stoic feeling. So, what I want to encourage is it doesn't have to be marriage counseling. It can just be a little retreat of sorts or a marriage weekend or something like that. Or even just going off as a couple somewhere for a weekend to experience life together, uh, different locality. Locality, is that a word? Different area, different locale, that can inject some life and communication into the marriage. But again, the point of this is to improve the marriage, which I feel like does need to be worked on. Both of you need to be on board with it first. Okay. That's my recommendation. Both of you need to be on board. Okay. Uh, Colleen Murphy Youngquist. Colleen Murphy Youngquist. Sorry, I'm writing a note here. Carleen Mata Youngquist. Will my mother settle with my father at the nursing home? Yes. Yes, your mother will settle in with your father at the nursing home. However, gosh, she's being such a grump on this. That's the thing I'm feeling here is that she really is being a grump on this. I think that's important. Um, so yeah, she will settle in. To let go of the grumpiness here, is that really how and being very upfront, people who just in general here, just a general medium talk here, people who die grumpy have a really rough time when they get into the life review part. It's like when you're if you remember when you were a kid and you woke up early in the morning and they dragged you to this test or whatever, like if it was the AC, maybe uh, or in high school, any test early in the morning was horrible. It's like that. And when you go into your life review having died grumpy, it does make it a lot more difficult. The other thing that I always like to point out is that, you two are going to be spending eternity together. Could you please at least drop the grump and pretend like you're already there? Um, that would help. Dump the grump kind of thing. Get rid of the grumpiness and encourage the openness. Because I mean, some of it is about the nursing home itself. It's not really about the relationship. It's about the nursing home. At the same time, this is one of those situations where it has to happen because it's a safety issue now. I feel like it's become a safety issue, and quite frankly, you're not a professional nurse per se. Um, so it's a matter of acceptance. And there is a grieving that goes on in this. There is a grieving. And right now she's in the anger phase. Uh, but it does, I'm sure she's been bargaining too. But give her that space to grieve. At the same time, it's like, the goal to let that drop. Let that drop. Okay. Um, Jamie Martin Christensen. I really hope this makes sense. The angels are comforting you right now. There is a lot of, "Oh, that's who this is. This is connected to you." Um, so the angels are comforting you right now. Somebody passed. Yeah, it could be their anniversary of passing is coming up or something like that. One of the things I'm supposed to acknowledge, and this is connected to you because they just hit it really hard, burning in the throat. The thing that they're wanting me to acknowledge here, this has been happening through the reading, and it's like, no, the person isn't here yet. I think it's you. Um, the person who passed, there was a burning in the throat. So I feel like there was either an airway, they could have been dealing with cancer of the throat, perhaps. I'm supposed to acknowledge that. I think this is for you. It could be for somebody else on the other side of the camera here. I don't know. Um, but it's a burning in the throat, and I want to acknowledge that they are with you. They've been trying to come through, especially through dreams. It's been very difficult. It's been a lot of energy. It's been a lot of distraction going on, and they're wanting to acknowledge that they are okay here. That there's been a wondering as to whether everything is okay. I feel like this is a male. Um, this could be an uncle or father or grandfather. I'm not sure, but I just feel a male above you that's connected here. Okay, so that's what I'm getting to connect to. So I hope that's making some sense. Um, Sandra K. Schauman. Gosh, your mom is such a gentle soul. So so Sandra, what I'm getting here is that she's calming you down, and she's kind of funny because she's kind of sitting there with this pad of paper, and she's saying it's almost like she's your psychiatrist or therapist, and saying, "You know, you don't need to worry about this because you're actually gonna be okay. You're" I would be very surprised if you passed soon. I really would, because she's showing no indication of this at all. She's like, "You know, I had a lot of other things that were wrong with me in case you forgot." And there was something with the brain that also was there as well. I'm not sure what happened, if there was an aneurysm or a brain, something going on up here, because she's pointing to her head, and she says, "You know, that was going on too. There is a lot going on here, and it's not just one thing." So she's helping you to calm down and allow things to be okay. All right. So there's no need to freak out. No need to freak out. Jane McTavish, are things really changing for the positive? You know, it's funny because, like, I've got, from what I'm seeing around you here, there's like mother, there's like the males and females above you. I feel like it's mother and father or grandmother, grandfather. And then I'm seeing cousins. My gosh, I'm seeing like cousins, uncles. It's like, there are a lot of people here. Um, things are really changing. Things are really changing for the positive. The person who has the uh, August birthday, I'm saying an 8 here, so August, you're born on the 8th of the month, they're wanting to acknowledge their presence there as well. This feels like a male I'm supposed to acknowledge as well. Then there is, oh, then there's a June one. Okay. The person with the June birthday is also coming across. I'm supposed to acknowledge that as well. There's yeah, it's June. Uh, super important date there as well. So there are some indications and connections there that are going on to be acknowledged. Um, name Randy or Randall suppose also coming across as well. Um, an acknowledgement, so I'm not sure who that is. Okay. Uh, oh gosh, it's 11 o'clock. I could keep going. Um, Unfortunately, I do have to stop because I've got more things going on here. So I want to thank you all for joining me here for questions and answers live. Um, I should be back next month. That's the first Sunday of the month on April. If I can read my calendar better here. Yeah, it'll be April. I'll do the April 5th. I'll be back. So great. Thank you all for joining me here for questions and answers live. For more information on readings, email readings, charts, and various and classes that are coming up, online classes, take a look at spiritforyourlife.com. That's spiritforyourlife.com. It's all there. All right. I wish you all the best and have a happy March. Bye bye.